Okay, welcome to my Let's Play. Um, I decided to make one of these finally, and we're gonna see how it goes. I tried to put Cam Studio on, but I was having much difficulty centering, and I just couldn't. I couldn't get it to operate while I was in the game in full screen. So I got Fraps now, and um, recording it in um, full mode slows down the game, but it comes out a lot clearer. I wanted to do it in half, but mm, the lettering was a little bit too blurry. So I'm gonna do it like this anyway and see how it goes. What I wanted to do, because there's not a lot of uh, games out there on YouTube. You got Magin and Sidor, and very good. A lot of good information. And I am no expert by no means, but I do enjoy playing on Deity. And I kind of come across something interesting I thought I would post, just in case somebody out there would like to see something a little different. I'm guessing that it's probably a little bit easy, maybe. Um, I like to take Ethiopia, and well, I would say Earth is an easier map than Pangea. This is the one that I struggle with the most. Um, any water map I think is much easier than an all land map with two or three civs right on your right on top of you. And many times I play this game on Deity. Um, Lately with France, I've been trying to get better at my domination skills, but there'll be times where I have control of 75% of the map, um, but I can't get to the last civilization to destroy them before they get their victory. So I need to get better at balancing um, my army with building certain buildings that I need to uh, get far enough in technology, uh, or you know, or have a better militaristic strategy. I had a game where I had a huge mountain mass in the middle of the map, and I was having a very difficult time getting all the way across to Pacau before he got off a diplomatic victory. Uh, and if he didn't get the Diplo, he was going to get technological before I could get over the massive ocean to nuke him. But anyway, I would say on Earth map, I'm probably winning 75% of the time, depending on how I set it up. But this one, I think, uh, if you're gonna start playing on Deity, would be a little bit on the softer side. So, you know, uh, but I thought it was interesting. So, let me know what you think in the comments. If it's too easy or too hard, or things that I could have done right, or things that I did right, or things that I did wrong, to help me better along in the game as well. So I like to play on this tiny map with it starts out with three other civs, but I add two civs, and I'll add, let's say, two more city states, um, which will it will take away space, but um, the it'll also offer more city states for the civilizations to get ahead a little quicker with. But the thing that I wanted to show was that sometimes what happens is you'll be close to a few other civs that don't get a religion, and we want to try to or I want to try to show how you can get a religion to spread, and how it kind of just spreads like wildfire when there's civilizations without religion, because you're only going to get 3 religions on this map with 6 civilizations. So if you can achieve this, those civilizations will pretty much be your friends, if you want them to be, throughout the remainder of the game. So let's get it going. I used to play a lot with no barbarians, and I thought it was more difficult. But recently, I've been playing with the barbarians. So I definitely, I'm on the side of it. It is more difficult without them, because there's too many things that you can take advantage with the barbarians, where they uh, destroy your luxury resources, and then you can resell them uh, right after you sold them. Or of course, everybody knows you can camp out around city states, or you can go and you're going to get uh, more challenges from the city states to uh, make you become allies with them. So I'm going to try to stop talking and show a little bit of the game. Um, one thing, one thing that I'm about is I want to be able to show quick games. I don't like having to watch 34 videos of a let's play. So let's like I'd like to keep it down, as much as possible. And I'm probably a little bit slower than a lot of players, but I'm going to try to keep it as fast as I can. So we spawned over here in North America, and I tried to do this a couple times already, but I'm still getting used to the recording and how to use the movie maker and all that. Something that I have really no idea why I'm doing this. I guess I just kind of not bored with the game, but I guess this is the next step, after you're playing the AI. You know, eventually you're going to want to probably try to do a let's play. And I enjoy watching them, so I thought I would make one, and because you don't have too many choices, and Magin and Sidor haven't made a let's play for Civilization Gods and Kings for quite a while. So, and everybody knows the game is broken, but it's still fun. So let's get on this mountain, and a hill, and see what we got around here. We are in North America, and um, the problem that I don't like with this, well, the good thing is we're gonna have this continent to ourselves, so we're not gonna have to worry about any kind of warfare anytime soon. The bad thing is my production is gonna be quite slow to get up and going. Now, uh, we could move to that hill that the warrior is on, pick up all these luxuries. Of course, we're giving up the coastal city, and but we would gain production. Uh, so this is the choices that you have to make, whether you want that extra production right away, or if you want to stay on the coastal cities, which especially on this map I think is a good thing to have coastal cities, because uh, even though the AI is better than they used to be at mm, building a navy and trying to destroy you with the navy. Uh, I found most of my games, all I need is 2 submarines. A lot of times, sometimes just 1 submarine, but two's much better. Of course, two's always better than one. Um, 2 submarines, you'll be able to take down all the navies of the world, pretty much, with 2 submarines. And if you get into battleships, you can pretty much take all the coastal cities out that you want. Uh, but I am. See, also you can get a water mill here, but there's just something about being on a hill almost every start, when I play, that I just always go for it. It's just I always want that extra production. It just seems to help out in the long run. All right. Or maybe it's the short run. So yeah, we're gonna waste a couple turns, and we will settle now. And we still will be able to pick up the marble, the cotton, the 2 citrus, and this ruins here. We could grab it now, or we could hope that it's population and wait for this to go to 2 or 3 even. But of course your border expansion probably will pick it up before then, unless the border expansion goes over here and down this way before it goes here. Yeah, I like to gamble on it a lot of times. I like to see, if I can get this to 3 or 4 population, especially over here in North America, where you're alone. To see if I can get that, I guess it's an exploitation, hoping that it's population. You get your population up to 3 in an instant 4. Building a steel is a must. Being over here, it's going to be harder to accomplish what I was setting out trying to show, which is how your religion can just take over the map, especially if you spawn over in North Africa or the Middle East or Asia or even Europe. If you get it close to a couple civs over there, or not even close, but if you're on the border with two civs that don't have a religion, you're pretty much going to take over the game diplomatically and through religion, and you can pretty much do whatever you want. We're not trying to do anything militaristic, really. So if warmongering is the thing that you're looking to do, this game, this Let's Play might be a little bit boring for you. We're going to go into pottery because we want to get to calendar as fast as possible to build, or at least try to build Stonehenge, a very useful early wonder to get our religion as fast as possible. Now we could also Rio de Janeiro. Okay, so we do have a city-state here that we could immediately conquer, or we could just leave them be and try to make them our friends as long as possible. And they are maritime, so they will give us lots of food if we decide to ally up with them, and they are irrational, but they do have silk and furs over there, which is quite useful. And being over here, we're going to most likely run into a couple of the civs earlier than if we were spawning over in this area. So yeah, you can see I just got fraps in, and I'm leaving this number down here just so that I know that it's running and that it's operational. I thought about not having it on just because of, having this red number here might bother some people, but it's pretty much out of the way. And now it's basically, scouting around with our warrior. I'm not real big, especially on a smaller map like this, and well, especially that I'm over in North America. I'm not that big on getting out there and scouting, uh, where if I was on a Pangea map, or maybe on a different map, I might worry about it a little more. This is kind of I've kind of like come into those games where when you see it, you see it, and although y it'll be more beneficial to you meeting the other civs and city-states as fast as possible, it's not always necessary. Oh, George Washington's on the continent with us. So this game is going to be a little more difficult than what I was thinking. However, uh, if Washington doesn't get a religion and we do, this will be able to showcase a little bit more of what I was trying to accomplish. So, so that's a good thing and a bad thing. Now, one thing we could do is we could expand a little more quickly than I was thinking and build an army as fast as possible and um, go take him out, get his capital, which would be useful to us. Uh, However, I really wasn't trying to do that. Of course, civilization. What's the nice thing about the game is, through all the problems and flaws of it, it still brings up enough dilemmas to keep the game enjoyable. Whereas the game's not the same every single time. You might set out to do something like religion, like I'm trying to do now, and you have to go in a completely different direction because the game dictates it. So that makes the game still interesting. What did we want to build? Um, I've been playing a lot of cultural games alongside of the militaristic games as well, and of course, with Ethiopia, it's pretty easy to achieve cultural victories. I just have to decide whether or not I want to build up an army and go destroy him, which, since I've been, working on my domination game, I'm tending to think, you know, uh, amass a massive army as fast as possible and go deal with him. Uh, let's see. Religion overview. Nobody's there yet. Nobody has anything. We will probably be the first, to the Pantheon, I would think. Unless Boudica happens to be in the game on the other side of the map, or in South America. Oh well, it would be harder for her in South America, but she would still get there before us. Which she would have been there by now if she was in the game, so I'm guessing she's not. Very difficult choice. I probably want to get into tradition, but this game is kind of dictating liberty to me a little bit, because we would like to get the Hagia Sophia if we can. If we are going to go liberty, we can build warrior. I'm thinking it might be better just to take him out. Yeah. So we will try to expand a little more quickly than what I wanted to, and um, I think we'll. I think our plan will be to try to have him out of the game by around turn 100 or so. Yeah, about a turn 100, and you know, try to deal with this mess. I thought we were gonna be, it's pretty. Actually, on the Earth map, even 6 cities, 10 city states, and I think you'd be surprised if you spawn over here. You're pretty much by yourself now. Trying to take him out early, going for Stonehenge is probably the wrong move, but we are trying to get this religion up and running as fast as possible, and we have a barbarian camp close by, which we would like those barbarians to get over to Rio as fast as possible so that they would ask us to go help them, and we can gain influence over them much faster. Okay. Alright, and we did get there first, so our religion will be up and running, and I'm trying to think if we want, well, our choices, we could go, because of all this desert over here. If you've played this map a lot, you'll know that there's quite a few desert tiles over here. A good plan, I think, is to build a city over here, your second city, as fast as possible to try to obtain Petra. What I like to do is get into Liberty and use the great engineer to build Petra if possible. If they don't build it within, like, sometimes they get it off at turn 54. But if you can get Petra over here, it's quite useful. Other times I'll use the great engineer for the Hagia Sophia and get my religion, which is like what I was trying to showcase anyway, you know, more advanced. So we could go desert tiles for over here. We could go 1, 2, 3, 4 plantations. Plus we'll probably pick that up eventually. That'll be 5 extra culture per turn, which helps out in the early game. And I think we can always go Messenger of the Gods. We probably, if we're going to try to take out Washington, we'll probably have quite a few cities over here. I would think about 6 or 7. And Messenger of the Gods could be useful as well. We could also go to the Monument of the Gods, which will get our Stonehenge up a little faster. Not much, but a little bit. Now, if we combine that with aristocracy, then it's 30% production extra, and since we are growing a little bit, it would be useful. So those are our choices. We could also go into happiness if we want to expand a little more quickly to help us out. Also, I'd like to use Goddess of Protection as well, especially if they're going to attack us early. This is quite useful to defend your cities. Let's see. Actually, usually when I play by myself, these decisions are much quicker, I make them much faster, but I feel under a little pressure since, making a video about it. I'd hate to have to play for 4 hours and get destroyed and then not be, and then I had to make another one of these darn things. So, I really, really want to get Stonehenge, and even though this will hurt us with being able to get more culture or more faith, I think that I'm going to just do it. And we're probably going to go, or I was hoping to go Liberty, but I might have to combine, since we went MOG, the Monument of the Gods, since we went that, I might need to combine some tradition with Liberty. And speaking of that, this will just get us over to here to aristocracy much quicker, even though I would like to get my free worker as soon as possible. Very difficult. Here. So many goodies. Just depends. I think we'll try to get this worker a little quicker, trade with Washington, so that we can get another city up and running, maybe in 2 or 3 cities, so that we can build an army and go destroy him. Let's see, do we want the shrine? I'm not really worried about a shrine, since we're going to build, or at least try to build Stonehenge. I kind of let this warrior build up a little bit more than I wanted to. Kind of forgot about it, thinking about too many things now. Greenery, which is very useful. I like to have a granary as fast as possible as well. We won't be able to build this before we start Stonehenge. We could actually build this and lose 1 turn on Stonehenge and get this up and going. And since we're trying to showcase religion, or at least since I'm trying to showcase religion, I think I'll go that direction. Alright. And I apologize for the delay. I really wanted to show a more quick game, so I'll try to speed this up a little bit more. I think that what I wanted to try to achieve has been taken away from me, and I am totally trying to still do what we wanted to show, or what I wanted to show. And also, I know kind of like in the back of my head that it's probably better to just abandon religion altogether, take him out, and then get into something else. Maybe even building a navy and going into South America, whoever's down there, and taking over that landmass as well, and then trying to head over into Africa and Europe, and pushing into the Middle East. Or you can even, well, of course, the city here is very useful because you can move your navy back and forth through the Panama Canal. Alright. think that's right. I might be wrong. Panama Canal might be elsewhere. Anyway, let's see. Well, we've already started on this plan of building Stonehenge, so we might as well finish. And we will have to. It says 2 turns here. Can I break that down to 1 turn? No. What if I starve them? No. Alright, so I know that we took the time to do that. 33 turns to Stonehenge. It's quite possible that we won't be able to. We get a worker up, we can get to mining and cut a few trees down, which will get us Stonehenge quicker. Or we could get into marble, and that'll help us as well. And this barbarians have us trapped in here. So turn 21, and everything has kind of gone in a much different direction than what I certainly wanted it to go in. The more I think about it, it probably would have been better to just, let's start building a farm here, since we have a few turns to mining. What I was thinking was it would probably be better just to rapidly expand, and you're going to put in more monuments, which will get you to faith, to culture much faster, and you can get to your religion quite quickly that way. But I had it set out to, in my mind from the get-go, to build Stonehenge, and I'm gonna build Stonehenge, or at least try to. The bad thing about it is that sometimes, or a lot of times, when you try to build Stonehenge, or if you happen to, let's say, get an advanced technology right off the bat, and you got writing, and you go for the Great Library, and it takes you a little longer than what you anticipate. Sometimes you will have an army on your doorstep, and you will have no defense. And those games are not very, usually not very fun to deal with. So we want to get into masonry so that we can try to pick up this marble. And we could buy that tile, but we've only got two more turns till the border. We'd like to save our gold to buy another city, a settler to go and build another city. So I think, let's see if the barbarians have left this area so that we can try to get through. And I think we will chop down a tree to try to ensure getting Stonehenge. You want to, well, sometimes Stonehenge will go off at turn 29 to 35. It's a pretty safe bet around turn 54. I've seen it very late at 75 or 80. We could get this citrus up and running and get some money as well to get us another city, but like I said, I am really, really gung-ho about putting Stonehenge up and running. So 25 and 30 is 55. It's quite late. And high probability that we will not get it. We could change the production, and that will, of course, move us to 13 turns, and -3 usually when you build, when you cut down a tree, you're going to shave off a couple turns on the building of Stonehenge. Hopefully that'll drop to 10 or 9. And it did. It went down to 9. So 9 and 32 is 41. And I think 1, 2, 3. We could go up to here to get the marble